Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about nostalgia, what you would do and how you would go about finding your old car. We get asked it quite a lot. We've got a blog which is really popular on this subject, so we thought we'd try and put it into a video as well. Um, that might be kind of a car you sold a long time ago. It might be a car which belonged to your parents, perhaps maybe you remember growing up. But yeah, if you're sat there kind of thinking, how do I find my old car? Watch on. The first thing you're going to need to know with obviously looking for your old car, you need to know what type of car it is. Yeah, a blue coupe is not really going to cut it when you start looking into the depths of the DVLA. I should point out this is for UK, probably not going to work for Europe, US, etc. But yeah, ideally you'll know something like this: your registration number. This was the registration of my first car. It's a Volkswagen Polo. I know what happened to it. We'll put some pictures up, you can see. But we'll use this as a demonstration. Alongside that, if you know the chassis number, especially for an air-cooled Volkswagen, so a Beetle, for example, it is possible your Beetle's now become a beach buggy. So the chassis number will remain, but obviously it no longer looks like the Beetle that you once remembered. So those are two really sort of important things to have. Armed with your registration number, you can start doing some searches online. So let's talk you through a few of the options. The quickest and easiest thing to start with is the DVLA website. The people you used to have to send the V5 to when you bought a new car now do it online. But you can go on there, you can check the MOT status of any vehicle that was once registered in the UK. There are a few caveats. If the vehicle hasn't been MOT'd since early 2000s, something like that, it probably won't be on there. A few years before that, I think they changed the V5 situation. So if the vehicle never had a new V5 applied for, it won't be on there again. That doesn't mean it's completely dead, but it's going to make it a little bit trickier to find. So what we can do, pop your registration into the DVLA website, and up will pop, hopefully, the MOT and the tax situation. Ideally, we want some greens there. That means the vehicle's still on the road and it has been MOT'd in the last 12 months. So yeah, it's running, driving, someone is using it. That means obviously there is a chance we might get it back. If it's red, all's not lost. If it just ran out of MOT a couple of months ago, or maybe a year or two ago, maybe it's a project in someone's garage. If it's 6, 7 years ago, it could be sat in a field in a barn maybe, but yeah, potentially it could also be in scrapped. Something else you can do while you're online, you could place a wanted advert in the places that people are searching to buy vehicles just like yours. You could go onto eBay, you could go onto Facebook Marketplace, you could go onto some forums, etc. And you never know. You might find someone who has been to look at a car. Argument's sake, you're looking for a Mark II Golf GTI. You might find someone who's seen your car recently. Maybe they turned it down because it's too much of a project, or perhaps the price was too expensive. But all these people are out there, a bit like yourself, who are looking for these vehicles. It may or may not be their old car, but they may or may not have stumbled across your vehicle on their travels. So yeah, see if you can do that. There are also Facebook groups for finding your old vehicle. It's worth a punt, isn't it? It's not going to cost you anything. Join up, put a message up there. If you've got a photograph, obviously, if you've got the registration, if you've got any defining features on the vehicle, if it's got a sunroof cut into it, or yeah, you modified it beyond recognition, or it's painted bright pink. All these little things might remind people about the vehicle, and yeah, could improve your chances of getting it back. There is a glimmer of hope for you in the form of the DVLA. You can apply for a V888 form, which you can do online, and you can either print that out or you can fill it out online. Basically, that's for information with regards to a vehicle that's licensed and registered in the UK. There are some caveats there. They say they will release the information for kind of reasonable grounds. Having kind of read through all the sort of the small print and the information, we'll put the links below. Reasonable grounds, they kind of include sort of hit and run. So if your car's been hit by a vehicle and that vehicle's kind of disappeared off, you happen to get the registration number. If you can prove you've got a crime reference number, they'll release the information with regard to that vehicle, and you can kind of follow that up, or your insurance company or whatever can follow that up. Nowhere, unfortunately, in there do they reference, I want my old car back. So either you would need to be creative, or you could put the truth, is to say, yeah, this car means a lot to me, I really want it back. Will you kind of give me the information? There seems to be a little bit more weight given to if you are a previous owner of the vehicle. So there's on that form, there's kind of a section for you to fill your details out. There's an opportunity for you to put a reason on there. You may get somewhere. I think there's a token charge of about £5 to do it. If you really, really want it back, it might be worth a go. But reading kind of between the lines with all that sort of information, it doesn't look like they're sort of catered for that. It's more sort of crime prevention. If you run a private car park and someone keeps parking there without paying, if someone's blocking your driveway, again, for those sort of things, they're after proof as well. So yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to make that one up. But the options there, it does exist. It may be worth it trying for the sake of a fiver. That's down to you. There's a few other things you can do online as well. You could Google your registration number, or you could go onto something like Facebook or Instagram and search it as a tag. So if you put your registration into Google, for example, I searched for my Porsche 944. I looked up C899 FVR, and up pops a forum post from before I'd even owned the vehicle, from a previous owner, actually for when he was selling it to the guy I bought it off. The internet kind of can help you with this. Equally, you can go onto Facebook, depending on kind of privacy settings, etc. You can put your registration in. You may or may not find pictures of your vehicle, potentially from a past life. Maybe that can help you. Or I say from a past life, it could also be from a more recent owner. Maybe that will help you a little bit on the way. If it's a vehicle of kind of particular interest, potentially you could start searching by hashtags. If it's a white Golf GTI, maybe you could search white Golf GTI, or you could try doing a hashtag on the number plate as well. If the new owner's been in love with it as much as you were, maybe they've set up their own hashtag for that registration, in which case there'll be a little bit more of a trail there. Potentially you can get in touch with them, find out if they've still got the car or where the car went from them. Just as we mentioned, placing wanted adverts for the vehicle, you could also approach owners clubs as well. So if it's a VW Beetle you're looking for, then yeah, drop a message to the VW Beetle owners club, give them the information. If you've got the registration, if you've got the chassis number. If the vehicle's a limited edition, obviously that's going to make it a little bit easier potentially to track it down. Last edition Beetles, for example, are numbered. There's Porsche special editions, for example, 40R, for example, is a numbered production. Those sort of things will maybe make it easier to pinpoint it being your car. And also those special editions, sometimes they'll have their own kind of register, if you like, an enthusiast club who are just about that particular model. So yeah, again, it may increase your chances of finding the vehicle if there is an enthusiast club aimed just at that particular model. Something to seriously consider when you're looking for your old car is what you're going to do if you actually find it. It's all well and good saying, oh yeah, I really want my old car back, but there is a chance that it's not as you left it. Quite a big chance that it's not as you left it, depending on how long ago you sold it. What are you going to do if it's a wreck, if someone's changed it, if it's cut in half, if it's a write-off or whatever it is? How attached are you to that? There's some other questions as well, which is, what are you prepared to pay for such a vehicle? Have you got the money to do it? Have you got the time to do it? Have you got the space to do it? If you can't answer those questions with regards to being able to kind of offer that and actually think you might be able to follow this through, is it worth you starting this journey at the moment? Or are you just going to kind of frustrate yourself almost if you find the vehicle and you can't do anything about it? Who knows? It might be a car that's so special to you that actually, if you find it, you'll find a way. You'll get a loan. You'll do whatever. But yeah, if you maybe haven't got that situation, then potentially maybe you're better off not knowing. That's up to you to decide.